Okay, so for my observations of fiction at the end of this course, I'm going to talk about Sir Gawain and the Green Knight and Batman, to the stories that we read. So they're both combined in this humane way of failing, or I guess not being able to always make it to the finish line, without a cramp in their leg. And really, to put this into perspective, just talking about Sir Gawain first, he's this great knight, and obviously knights are bound by honor. We see this in both Alana and Sir Gawain. They're bound by honor, and he takes upon this challenge, and he knows that he has to go and receive an equal blow by this Green Knight, and he does not give back the green, I believe it was a girdle, or for magical protection, keeping him from dying. He does not give it back to the Lord who he is staying with. And this is where he fails. He doesn't keep his honesty. Not only that, he's receiving kisses from this guy's wife, and then he's giving them back, but he's not saying, who they're from. And I mean, that's how he fails. Okay. I'm going to go back and forth between these, and I'm going to try to sum it up as best I can. Looking at Batman's failure is technically not his own. Okay, well, one, I mean, the Batman book was just crazy overall. It was, yes, it was cool. It had that comic book atmosphere, but also there were some parts that were just so unbelievable, and big coincidences here and there. Whole thing was just very weird. But that's not what we're really talking about here. What we're talking about is Batman's failure to accept the death of Robin. Or I guess, sorry, he accepted it, but his response to it was that there will never be another Robin. Jason Todd is gone. Nobody will ever fill the Robin role again, even though that he's had like three Robins, and he's not going to do it again. And it's two different ways of showing their humanity. So Batman accepted failure, or I guess he had failure happen to him, and his way of I guess progressing is, well, then I'm never going to put myself in a situation where somebody else can get hurt, which is noble. It's completely noble, but it also doesn't allow for learning experience in there. While Sir Gawain, he, the Green Knight kind of took pity. I mean, he forgave him, is really what I'm trying to go after here. And Sir Gawain learned from it. So instead of, saying, oh, well, I'm just never going to get myself into this situation again, Sir Gawain learns from his experience. He is only human, and he did not live up to the expectations that everybody else had on him, the Green Knight had on him, and he had on himself. While Batman, whenever something happens with him that does not go to his expectations, he's ready to kind of throw everything to the wall and say, I'm doing it solo now, I'm doing it my way. While Sir Gawain accepts, okay, how can I go forward and keep this from happening? And I think that that's truly what makes a hero. I think that they're both heroes. But I think that, it's acceptance of their mistakes. And I know that this doesn't really have too much to do with the book, but I'm going to loop it in here anyways. One of my favorite quotes that my dad has ever told me is that it's only a mistake if you don't learn from it. Obviously, it's not his quote. He probably got it from some movie or whatever. But my point is, Sir Gawain doesn't let it be a mistake. He learns from it, while Batman keeps it as a mistake. He keeps it as a mistake. He doesn't learn from it. His only way of going about it is, okay, well, then Bat Family's done. Just like that. And I don't think that's the right way to look at it, but that's how they're different characters. But at the same time, they're still heroes. I mean, Batman's name is synonymous with the word superhero. And he doesn't even have powers, and he's a superhero. I mean, what he's doing, he's making mistakes, but yet they're still heroes, because all heroes make mistakes. I don't think that there's one character that we read about that didn't make any mistakes. I mean, Harry Potter made mistakes. Did I research him for the sake of this video? No. I mean, I'm thinking of the mistakes that he made right off the top of my head, but he was also a naive, like he's 11 years old, I think, in the first book, something like that, maybe 9. Um, but my point is that heroes are more than just like perfection. There's flaws in every hero. I mean, you can look at Tony Stark, incredibly big ego, and that's his flaw. And Batman is his resistance to accepting defeat, which is both his pro and his con. But Sir Gawain's pro is accepting defeat and saying, okay, how do I learn from this? That's really all I've got. That's how I'm going to wrap it up. Personally, I really enjoyed reading both of these books. I think I enjoyed Batman more because it's a graphic novel in a college level class, and that's super cool. But that's where I'm going to end off. Thank you.